Chainsaw Man episode 5 is officially out. I hope you all enjoyed the new episode as much as I did, as I am greatly anticipating a certain scene, and we inch towards it ever so slowly. This episode was excellent. I like how they kept Power covering her eye with her hair. The scene with Makima is the development I spoke about last episode. Denji reached his goals, and now that he's reached them, he has to face the fact that it wasn't as great as he imagined. A very relatable feeling in the real world. It always feels like once I do this, once I do that, things will be better for me. Or doing this is gonna make me happy. But more often than not, reaching a goal means losing your purpose and having the need to search for another tangible goal that will better you. Denji has this turmoil in his head of, is making a new goal even worth it if I'm just going to feel the same way when I get there? Is the chase better than the destination? Is the journey really where it comes from? This scene is gorgeously executed and the animation is superb. Direction was done by Yosuke Takada, who worked as an assistant animation director for Yuri on Ice. He worked as a key animator on a Punchline episode, and an episode director for Jujutsu Kaisen. Storyboards were done by Tomomi Kamiya, responsible for most of episode 9 of Carol and Tuesday, key animation on some of the episodes of Space Dandy, and an animation director on many Gintama episodes. These animators did a phenomenal job. Denji falling back in his seat and his knee bumping the table, you know that shit hurted. These little details are the things that I believe improve upon the source material the most sometimes, and are some of the most valuable changes that could be made. Obviously, a lot of the goofy faces from the manga have been cut for the more realism style that Mappa is trying to achieve, which I have a few personal gripes with, but if sacrificing some of that goofiness gets us an adaptation this good, then it's a small, a medium price to pay. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Denji grabs Power's boobs and that was also adapted really well. Besides making Denji look creepier than in the manga, but fittingly so, you know, fair enough. Imagine if Superman or Thor or some shit, I don't know. Imagine he has to grab one of your titties after saving your life. It'd be a little out of pocket. We're gonna go into some slight spoiler territory for this episode, so if you haven't watched it yet, then go watch it and come back. 3, 2, 1. When Aki's whole family dies, I was like, damn. The panel that accompanies this massive tragedy of his is totally unparalleled, but I think the anime did a phenomenal job. Capturing immense detail and transferring that to movement is incredibly difficult, and I think this is a perfect example of how it should be done. Aki is constantly harassed by his history. Power and Denji too. But unlike his bothersome teammates, he can't get his past and desire for revenge to vanish with a simple piece of gum. But let's take the attention away from Aki for a minute. Denji is fighting for something new now. Denji's fighting no longer to touch a boob. He's already done that 3.5 times with 2 different girls, but he's still not happy. So now he has to go kill one of the strongest devils out there so he can have sex with Makima. Now if that sounds like a pretty big goal, that's because it is. Not to mention that Denji is a 16-year-old. It's like Himeno and Makima are having a groom-off to see who can groom this 16-year-old the fastest. This scene of Denji answering Makima's question about the gun devil was also executed really well, but I cannot stand some of the changes made to the actual dialogue used. In the manga, Denji says, well, if I try really hard, then I'll win for show. In the anime, he says, if I bust out all the stops, it'll be a piece of cake. Again, a well-executed and animated scene that switches the dialogue up in a way that is not beneficial. I want to admit before I get comments regarding this though, I'm aware that this is nitpicking to the highest degree, but I don't think that means it shouldn't be mentioned or talked about. That being said, I'm not sure the specifics that go into localizing media for foreign languages. Denji is still captured as this naive and stupidly optimistic type, but his delivery of that nature is who he is. Another line that did this was in episode 1, when Denji says, my blood's not free though, this is a deal. Instead of, I ain't running a charity though, this is a contract. A small gripe, but whatever. Another instance is in episode 3 when Power said, the blood is warm and feels pleasant, a line that feels much less direct than the line from the manga. Blood feels nice when it is warm too. These changes feel unnecessary, and I'm not sure the creative process that goes into changes like these, or if these are just lines that specificity get lost in translation. Himeno says if he kills this devil, she'll tongue kiss him, and Denji gets way too excited about this. But once again, this is a setup episode and not an action episode, so we'll need to wait until the next episode to see the actual fight go down. Chainsaw Man has been amazing so far. I hope you're all enjoying it as much as I have been. I should be running out of time about now, so I'll see you later. Bye!